Hello, and welcome to the show. Today on Minecraft Creations, we're going to do another tutorial. I had, in the last one, made these brownstone style apartments, and had a comment about making more apartments, and I was actually going to be doing that anyway, because I needed to figure out my next step for the man versus woman. So this is what we're going to build today. This is more of a modern style or design apartment layout. It's got 6 per side, so it's 12 total. Now if you take a close look at this, we got basically 2 sections, but they're exactly the same, so we can just build one and then build the other next to it and show you what's different in the center. So let's go ahead and start by figuring out the layout. In this case, it is from this block to here is 11, and this block to here is 7. And that's just your outer shell. If you look, it's kind of like a frame around it. And then on the inside, we have this. So this is basically it. Each floor has the exact same layout. This is going to be the commons area right here, but this is the front doors, windows, and then this one has a balcony on the back, if you can see that over here. So what we want to do is place in the window locations the exact same color as the wall color, so that way when you put the windows in, it looks right. I tried placing it with the floor color and it just didn't look correct. The floor extending out to the outside, and the brick also didn't make sense in the overall look and design. These apartments are only 2 tall, and I'll explain why that is as we get to the top of this. So now we've got the walls up. They're 3 total tall, but as I said, the apartments themselves are only 2 tall, and that's because we're going to be placing snow at this level for the ceiling. But first, let's go ahead and put the floors in. Now, because the way I'm going to be placing the doors, we're going to go ahead and place the floor in those locations for each doorway. If the door was going to be placed on the inside jamb, you could use different for whatever you're going to use out here. You could use the same as that, but I'm going to be placing the doors on the outside of the jamb, so it will technically be interior space. Also, don't forget to add the balcony area here in the back. Looks like I need to swap some blocks around here, like so. The floors are in place, and now we just need to add the ceilings. Now if you look at this as a division, it is the exact same in these blocks. So this is a 5x5, 5x5. And then for the top, after you fill in the snow blocks for the ceiling, just place one glowstone or pumpkin or whatever you want to use for the lighting right there in the center. I suppose you could even do a torch. And there you go. That's the basic idea for each floor. Now we're just going to be adding the next floor onto it. As you can see, I'm still basically making the layers between floors too tall, and this keeps me able to have a floor color and a ceiling color different from each other. And there's, you got the start again. Just repeat from the exact same steps that we did below. And yet again for the third floor, again just doing the same steps as the ones previous. Now as you get this, you can see that it's basically modular, which means that you can make this as tall or as short as you want to. This could be a single story, this could be a 5-story building. It's all up to you and how high you want to go, what makes the most sense for whatever you're using it for. If you were doing a really aggressive skyline with skyscrapers and you know, multiple story, like 12-story buildings and whatnot, this could fit in easy peasy just by adding more floors to it. Now we're at the top floor. What we're going to do, we're making it 3 stories as stated. But if you see the locations here for the doors, these doors are directly 1 block away from sunlight. And that means that the top floors can be used as a village house, or what represents a village house for the villagers. So basically what we can do at this point is make them recognize it as such. We have to put some kind of deal onto the roof line, or onto the roof, and I'm going to put some glass on here to allow the glowstone to be used as a ambiance for the roof itself. And then, just in case some villagers want to wander their way all the way up to the top, we got to make sure that they have a way to get up and down. So that's what these half slabs are for. But this block right here that's directly above the door, you want to leave that with nothing on top of it. If you do so, that should allow them to recognize this as a village house. Then I'm just going to fill the rest in with snow. Alright, so now you can see we have both buildings completely constructed and ready to go. So the first thing we need to do is connect these two together. And how we do that is simply by going like this in the back. This creates a bit of a lip in between them, as you can see over here. We need to leave the front open, so that way we have a way to get into the buildings themselves. I'm just going to go ahead and put this color into the floor in between these two. Once the floor is in place, you can go ahead and take these outer wraps and bring them all the way up to the edge of the white. Alright, those are completed. I actually went 1 up past that because that is the height of the roof wrap. And basically what you do at that point is just connect them with 1 stone block to kind of complete the roof line off. Now we've basically made it into 1 building. Let's figure out the stairwells. So the easiest way to do that is basically we're going to start by wrapping the 2nd floor with a walkway. And this walkway is going to be made out of the wood color as well. Just give it a little bit more variance in shades and color. Now how you know you're putting the floor in the correct spot is by matching up the doors. So the sides are going to have a 1 wide walkway, but the doors are going to have a 2 wide. And this is where our stairwell will be in. At that level, you go ahead and place a stone block, and then right on top of that another smooth stone block, and that gives the finish edge touch on the causeway, I guess you'd call it. Go ahead and take out these 2 blocks right here and add in 2 stairs of the same color, and this is the start of the stairwell. Just bring it down. These blocks I'm placing in are not going to stay here. This is just to help with the spacing. We're actually going to take those right back out. And there you go. We're also going to place torches on the insides on the stone at the same level as the doors for each door slot, kind of like a porch light. And then you just continue this step all the way up to the top. Now once you get to the roof line, basically, you're going to continue that 2 tall smooth stone thing there and complete the stairwell up to the next one. In this case, I'm just going to use the snow block, as the roof block is basically the same there. And we're still going to put a stairwell into the top. This does a couple of things. One, giving us access to the roof to look at the surrounding area. So we have basically a vantage point from this building. But 2, it also gives the villagers a place to go. If you look at the way villagers track, they tend to go to the highest spot. Well, this is basically a concept that I'm hoping will keep them in the buildings. So once you transport them here, they're going to want to navigate towards the top of it versus coming out of it and continuing on somewhere else until they decide that this is a village, hoping that that keeps them in place. So this is basically the finish of that. Now we just need to put in the windows, doors, and other treatment. To wrap the balconies, I think I'm going to go ahead and do wood just like the other one. The iron bars do work, and obviously you have the nether brick fence choice as well. But I just don't like the color combination in this one. I think the wood worked the best, kind of accentuating the wood color of the balconies and the floor. Let me go ahead and finish putting all this stuff in, and then we'll come back and take a look. And there is a completed look of our modern style apartment buildings. As you can see, everything's been put into place. Made a little causeway or a little section in between them for seating and whatnot. Cleaned up the road in front of them to connect them into our city that we're creating here. I think that they would do well in multiple settings. As I said, because you can make them as tall as you want, they could do multi-purposes. They could be in a small city like this, or they could be in a giant city like something like New York with skyscrapers and whatnot. Turned out well. I'm happy with this. You can look forward to seeing this showing up in the Man vs. Woman. Let's go ahead and take a look at what you could do with this. If you start off by putting in some ambiance, this could be seen from the outside. It could be on the top or the bottom, but you know, you got your standard chairs and whatnot. Then just by removing the snow blocks above these chests, you can double stack your chests, no problem. And then you can just go ahead and create some rooms that are complete chests. This could be set up for an entire base. Here you got your brewing section with some dispensers, some more chests, workbenches. Across from it, we put ourselves an enchanting table, level 30, no problem. And you even keep the appearances from the outside just by putting lighting behind the bookshelves. And then you can come down to the main floor. You got yourself some furnace area, again with the workbench. Back here, some more furnaces, also with a chest to put your coal in. And then a couple of rooms with beds. And as you can see, if you place these beds against that center wall, you are not touching an outside block, so your chances of having something spawn next to you is taken away. Don't forget that like and subscribe if you enjoy my videos, and I will see you next time.